Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I will be making the Chinese style roast chicken. I have done a number of roast chickens before, but I've never found a recipe where the chicken is very flavorful, juicy and mouth-watering until I saw this recipe online. Now this recipe is quick and easy to make for the whole family. I will be showing you the ingredients on making this recipe, so stay tuned. So these are the ingredients to make the Chinese style roast chicken recipe. So what do we need? We need 1 whole chicken. So we require 4 cloves of garlic. Okay, so we also require at least about 1.5 inch to 2 inches of ginger. Make sure that the garlic will lightly need to be pounded, whereas the garlic will need to be peeled and sliced. So for the marinade ingredients, we require to have at least about 3 to 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of honey. We also require 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice powder, about 1 teaspoon of Shaoxing wine, about 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, about 1/4 of salt. Last but not least, you also require about 3 to 4 dashes of white pepper. So the couple of things that we actually need to do here. First thing first, we actually need to combine the marinade ingredients in a bowl. Then after that, we will need to rub in generously on the skin of the chicken and also the cavity itself. When it comes to ginger and garlic, you actually need to place these ingredients inside the cavity, then transfer that into a Ziploc bag if you have any, or you can also transfer that into a bowl and cover it with a cling wrap. Okay, so I have actually made the marinade ingredients. I mixed everything together. Now what we're going to do is we are going to rub the marinade ingredients onto the chicken and as well as the cavity itself. So that's my marinade ingredients, and then that's the chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer that into a bowl here, and then I'm using my hand. Make sure that you wash your hands before you touch the chickens, and then after that you just transfer the chicken into the bowl. Now before you can actually transfer the chicken into the bowl, what you need to do is you must make sure that you pat the chicken dry inside and out. Okay, so I am going to transfer the chicken into the bowl. Okay, and then with my hand I'm gonna rub it in to the chicken. It's not that hard actually to make this recipe. It is actually quite simple. Now one good thing about this recipe is that it will be very nice and juicy by the time you cook it. Now for a juicy and tender chicken, what you need to do is you need to do it 1 day before you roast the chicken in the oven to have the best impact. Okay, I'm going to flip over the chicken into the other side, and then with my hands I'm rubbing the chicken. It's like just do a bit of massage onto the chicken itself. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now as well, I'm going to rub in the marinade into the cavity. Okay, it is really that simple. So do this for at least 3 to 4 times, making sure that we distribute the marinade that we made earlier evenly into the chicken. Simple as that. Perfect. Okay. What we're going to do is, after this, we are going to place the ginger and garlic inside the cavity of the chicken. And then we're going to wrap it with cling wrap. And then we'll marinate it for at least 24 hours before we start cooking the roast chicken. I have in here my garlic. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly pound my garlic. And then I have my ginger as well. Already peeled it off, and then I'm just going to slice it. Not too thick and not too thin. Now I did say earlier, it requires about 1 inch of ginger, so you can actually add, depending on how big the chicken is, then you can actually add in this ingredient inside it. I'm gonna put in the ingredients inside a cavity now. You can use toothpicks to close the cavity. Now I have marinated the chicken for at least 24 hours. What I'm going to do now is I am going to take the ginger and garlic from the cavity out of the chicken. And then we're going to transfer the chicken into the roasting pan. And then we're going to let it air for at least 30 minutes before we put it into the oven. Okay? Taking this out. And make sure that you wash your hands to do this thing, because it's really important that you have clean hands. Okay, so I'm just flipping this chicken to the other side. I already took out the toothpick out of that, and just taking the ginger and lemon out from the cavity. And you can actually reuse the ginger and the garlic that you have put in the cavity as well for when you want to cook something else. Okay, now before I transfer the chicken into the roasting pan, I'm going to, for the last time, do a bit of flipping to make sure that all the juices covered the chicken skin. So this is my roasting pan. I love it. I've been using it for years and years and years, and it's really good just because it's deep and you can put in the chicken on top of that. So what you need to do is just to transfer the chicken that you have marinated. Now you don't have to wipe the sauces from the chicken, and then you just need to let it air for 30 to 40 minutes before you start cooking. So that's the chicken. So these two metals here will actually keep the chicken intact while cooking. Now from here, after you air dry the chicken for about 30 to 40 minutes at room temperature, what you need to do is you will then need to heat up the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 200 degrees Celsius. You must make sure that the skin surface is no longer wet. Okay? That's why we want to air dry the chicken for 30 to 40 minutes. Now, and then place the chicken in the roasting pan, as I mentioned to you earlier, and you have to roast the chicken for at least 45 to 15 minutes. Okay? Now, you can also remove the chicken from the oven, and then after that turn the other side of the chicken and then roast for another 15 minutes. Okay, after about an hour, you then will need to brush the chicken with the skin coating mixture, which I'm going to show it to you later once the chicken is cooked. Okay, and then we're gonna let the chicken to rest before we serve it. Air dry for 30 to 40 minutes. Now you also can turn on the fan to expedite the process of airing. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, I am pretty sure that you will like this recipe. Now, this meal is best served with other main course. So it can be a vegetable course, or you can actually serve it with rice as well. So depending on what you want to serve it with. Usually I will serve it with vegetables and noodles. So I hope you enjoy watching my videos on how to make the Chinese style roast chicken. If you would like to see more of my videos, please click on subscribe. Now if you think you like this video, don't forget to like this video. Now this has been Dave. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you will stay safe, and until my next video, bye for now.